Yo guys, what's going on? My name's Matt and I invest in Pokemon cards. I've been doing this since late 2023. The Venusaur 151 SIR, when I saw that card, just hooked me into the hobby. That was the most beautiful trading card I had ever seen up until that point, and I had to have it. Went down to my local card store and bought it, and here we are. I get a lot of questions from friends when they ask me what my hobbies are. When I say Pokemon cards and Pokemon card investing, how do I do it? Which cards do I pick? How do I get involved? Things like that. So I'm hoping to answer a lot of those questions for them in this video. And when they ask me, how do I do this? I just send them this video. I take a very simple approach to investing. I think a lot of people on the internet, when it comes to Pokemon cards and even stocks, they can overcomplicate it. With Pokemon cards, a lot of people look at, oh, there's this many available, there's this, that, and the other thing. I do think there is some value in looking at those things in order to get a fair value of the card. Like a card that's much easier to pull should be less money than a card that is much harder to pull. That is obvious. But I think that there are a lot of things that go into it that make it way more complicated than it needs to be for those people. I look at two things and two things only. Is the Pokemon popular? And then also, is it a nice looking card? Is the art nice? And again, I'm not unique. I've noticed that if I think a card looks great, other people think it looks great. If I think a card looks horrible, more often than not, a lot of people think it looks horrible. Am I wrong sometimes? Or wrong? How could you be wrong in your taste? Of course, I'm different from the pack sometimes. One thing that I've learned, though, is that that's where you make a lot of your money. Ray Dalio said it best. I read one of his books, and he said, when you're running against the pack, that's when the money is to be made. When everybody's selling and you're buying, and then it goes the other way, that's when you make a lot of money. A good example of that, honestly, would be, I think I have it over here. Actually, I took it out for this video. I just have cards all over me. Is this card, I'm sorry. Nobody wanted this card. It was a Lucario V-Star. It was, at one point, 50 cents. Somebody had actually said, I said, hey, I just got into the hobby. They said, oh, that's cool. Here's a Lucario V-Star, and just handed me a card. Looked up the value. It was like 60 cents at the time, but I loved it. So you know what I did? I bought more of it, and it's $15 a card now. And it's just based on two things. Lucario is extremely popular, and I thought the art was sick. When you feel differently than the market does, and you get lucky, and you go against the grain, that's essentially when you make a lot of money in any type of investing. The goal is to never hit a home run in investing. The goal is to always get a base hit, as I like to say. The home runs, like this card, will come. But the goal over time is to just acquire cards that you feel will continue to go up in value over time, that remain popular. The way that I do that, like I said, is by looking at popular Pokemon and making sure that the art is extremely nice. So let's look at a few examples. I love Ascended Heroes. I think everybody does. Just probably the best set that they've released in the last, I don't know, 10 years. I mean, it's like just out of this world. Such a good set. Mega Frostlass is my favorite art in the set. It's not even close. It reminds me of the ending of Kill Bill with Oran Ishii and the fight in the garden, the snow, all of that. It's just an incredible art. Frostlass, not a popular Pokemon. Not a Pokemon that, a lot of people are going around saying, that's my favorite Pokemon. Are there people like that? Of course. But are there a lot of people screaming from the rooftops that Frostlass is their favorite Pokemon and they need every card that has Frostlass on it and, they just love it, love it, love it. I need to, submit it to PSA. No, that's not going on. So this becomes a card where I wouldn't invest in it. I just love the art so much. I'll put it in my, my normal collection. And if it goes up, I'm probably not even going to sell it because I love it so much. And, I think being in Pokemon, you have to be a collector first and foremost. The investing is just kind of the cherry on top, as you can say. So in order to invest in a card, we need those two things to be true. The art is nice and the Pokemon is popular. A good example of that would be the Psyduck. Obviously part of the original 151. And the art is just absolutely spectacular. I love it. It's incredible. And as a result, so does the market. Psyduck is extremely popular, and the art couldn't have been any better. Let's look at this. I like to look at one other thing here, and that's the popular. I view this as almost like a popularity type of thing. So this is pricecharting.com. The way that you get there is just by I usually just highlight and do search. Then it's usually the first link. You can see here that ungraded on eBay, it has about one sale per day. Actually, TCG Player, they have it as well. But you can see here, it has about one sale per day. In a PSA 10, it has about 3 sales per day. So what should that tell you? One, it's being graded a lot, that's for sure. But people love the card so much that instead of putting $764 in any other card, they are putting it into this one. And it's because of 2 reasons. It's Psyduck, part of the original 151, and the art is incredible. That's really it. Every single card is a stock. And you have to view it as, would you rather park your money here with Psyduck, or would you rather park your money here with Frostlass? I know what I would choose. Does that mean that the Frostlass is not going to go up over time? No. Could it possibly become more expensive than the Psyduck? Yes. But nobody has those answers. So I never like to speculate, because usually it's wrong. And as far as stock markets are concerned, one of the things I always tell my friends when they get involved in investing is I always say leave all that stuff to Goldman Sachs. Let them project 2-3 years from now. There's a lot of Pokemon guys out there that'll project, I think this card is going to. Nobody knows. Okay, nobody knows. All of this could go to 0 tomorrow. Do I think so? No. But all of this can go to 0 tomorrow, and nobody has any idea. You could take a good estimated guess, like I think this card is going to dip below $100 again. But nobody knows. You just have to look at the popularity and kind of go based on that. And you don't need to, do really anything else. I see a lot of people online that overcomplicate this with, the volatility, with the listed median, the current sell. You don't need any of that. You just need, is it a popular Pokemon, and is it a nice art? That's it. A great example of this. Would I spend $1,228 and invest in this Pikachu card? Some people might say yes. Personally, it only hits one of the 2 boxes for me. Pikachu is extremely popular. I don't like the art. I think it's boring. I think there's other better Pikachu cards out there. And that goes to show you that just being in the hobby, investing time, going to shows, talking to people, just becoming exposed to the cards will get you to invest better, because you'll be like, oh, this Pikachu is kind of boring compared to the other ones that I've seen. I'd rather pay, $1,000 if I really want to buy a Pikachu on another Pikachu card. Things like that. So in order for us to invest in a card, those 2 things have to be true. I would invest in this card. I love Dragonite. Dragonite is an extremely popular Pokemon. I think this is one of the most beautiful arts ever. Like, ever. This card art is amazing. It has all of the other Pokemon that it evolves from. It's its mega form. It's colorful. If you look at also something that I really like to do sometimes, just because I just like to see what other cards are out there that Dragonite has, right? So we have other cards here. This is the most expensive Dragonite card ever printed, okay? Ever printed. In the history of Pokemon, there is no other Dragonite card that is more expensive than this card currently is, okay? One of the reasons being that it's obviously a modern card, but another reason being is because it's honestly better than any of the other ones. I mean, an argument could be made that maybe this Dragonite V is a little bit nicer, but I don't agree with that. Money goes and money flows where good art and popular Pokemon are. That's just the way that Pokemon investing is going to be and will forever be. Another reason why I like investing that way is because let's say that you have 800, let's take it down to this example. Let's say you have the Mega Frostlass, right? and it's you buy it for $108, probably $110, maybe even $120 from a guy at a show, right? You buy the card, you love it, you bought it as an investment. 2 weeks later, this card is now $50. How are you going to feel? You're probably going to panic. You're probably going to be like, I mean, it's $50, but you get the point I'm saying. You're probably going to be like, oh no, I need to sell the card. Nobody likes it anymore. Oh my God, like it's never going to go back up, etc. Let's say that this Psyduck, I paid $110 for it at a show. 2 weeks later, it goes to $40. I'm buying it. I'm just gonna keep buying this. Like I'm buying it, buying it, buying it. Now you're telling me right now I get to buy 3 Psyducks for the price of that I paid for one. I'm buying it. Why? The Pokemon is incredible. The art is incredible. And people are showing you that they want to spend $764 on it. Even $100 on it. It would be a no-brainer. Right? Now let's say the opposite is true. And the cards go up. Let's say Mega Frostlass, you buy it, it goes to $200. You're like, oh my God, like I need to sell. Like this is $100. I need to sell this card. I need to get the profit because you don't know anything about Frostlass. You don't know anything about its popularity. You essentially, in a sense, got lucky. And if you get lucky, great, take your profit. But what I'm saying is, if this Psyduck, you bought it and it went to $200, you maybe would sell it. But what I'm trying to say is, you would probably hold it because you're gonna think it's gonna go higher, because you're secure in your investment. You feel that you made a good investment. You are like, I know it's Psyduck. It's part of the original 151, and the art is beautiful. Like there's no other. I don't need the listed median current quality, the current sellers, the volatility. I don't need any of that. I just need to be secure in those two things, and everything else will take care of itself, especially in a bull market. That's all you need to focus on. I know for a fact that there's people out there that really like Iono's Belly Bolt, right? People like Iono, people like Belly Bolt. It's just not something that I would spend $78 on. I'd rather spend $78 on something else. If you love this card, if you love it, if you like Belly Bolt, if you like Iono, you collect all the Iono's Belly Bolts that have ever been printed, right? You just love Belly Bolt. Just buy it and put it in your personal collection, and don't really view it as an investment. The second you view it as an investment, you're going to look at the card differently, and you're not going to look at it the same. You're going to, constantly look at, the price of it and things like that. So treat your cards that you invest in differently from the cards in which you just love and want to put in your collection. And I've just continued to do this, and I know that I've said it before, but everybody's a genius in a bull market. But I'd much rather be stuck with a few Psyducks than with a few Mega Frostlosses. That's honestly the way that I view all of these things. I'm going to be doing many more videos on Pokemon and Pokemon investing. I think Pokemon investing is here to stay. I think Pokemon in general, even if there was a crash that I see every other Instagram reel, there's going to be a crash, and it's because of this X, Y, and Z reason. Pokemon is here to stay. People love this. It's become a pastime now for not only my generation, but also the generations that have been involved in it for the last few years. So it's here to stay. So even if there was like a market correction or even a market downturn or even a crash, I would still be around. I would still be investing in all of this, and I would honestly expect it over a few years to probably recover. So I do think it's here to stay. And not only that, it's just fun, right? Every time you buy a stock, let's say you bought Nvidia stock, it's just money on the screen now. When you buy, I bought this as an investment, maybe even a grading play, right? This Megalodios, popular Pokemon, love the art. It's Akira Igawa, right? Just a really popular artist in the Pokemon space. I get to look at this. I get to, view the art. I get to look at it. It has, those benefits as well. I get to show off this collection to people. It's something physical in your hand that is also pretty liquid. I can bring this to a show tonight and exchange it for money. There's a lot of benefits when it comes to Pokemon investing. And also another one is taxes. When you make that exchange on the stock market for money, you're going to get hit. If you made money, you're going to get hit with taxes. But if I doubled my money with this, there are no taxes involved. So that's just something else to think about. That's not the reason why I invest in Pokemon, but it is a benefit to it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will be making many more. I will be going through each set and telling you which cards I would look to invest in, which cards I am investing in. And I'm also going to be doing a challenge. I'm going to buy $100 worth of Pokemon cards every week. So things like this Mega Dragonite are going to be out of reach. The rules are going to be the card has to be $100 or less. We can only spend $100 each week, no more. Maybe less, we'll say, but no more than $100. And I'm going to do that every week for a year, and we're going to see where we are. That should start, that series should start pretty soon. So be on the lookout for that, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Leave a like and subscribe. Peace.